I am going to do some processing of the game so that I can update the score dynamically, but I'm going to do it within my own code. So what I'm going to do is add some code here for that game load completed. And so it's done. We're going to iterate through each game result in the list box of game results, all the items. I've got to count for a number of times I've won, lost, and tied. I'm then going to count them up for each one of the results and get the number of ties, number of losses, number of wins. And then I've got a text box which has got the current score, which I'm going to format out to have the number of wins, number of losses, number of ties. And then the winner is going to be a little processing going out to say, did I win more than I lost? If I did, then I'm the winner. Otherwise, the computer. So that takes care of loading the game history. The other piece is when we actually click on the play game, I want to go out and actually make that all work. So the play around method is where we're going to go out and we're going to take in from the click event for playing the round. I'm going to go out and I'm going to create a URI that's going to actually call that play game method, that OData method, passing in the appropriate fields for the game ID and the move. And that's going to take in the game ID, plus I'm using that tag from that original source, which is going to be whether it was rock, paper, or scissors. And then with that, I'm going to take that URI, that query, and I'm going to call the data service collection, and I'm going to load that game results with that query, which is going to be this. And then I've got a load completed, which is then going to go out and play the round load completed, which then comes back, and when it's done, it goes out and checks to see if there's no errors. If there are errors, it'll show a message box. Otherwise, it just goes out and loads the game history. So, a lot of stuff here. What did we do? We got the ACS, gives us identity. The login screen uses the ACS control from the acs.codeflex.com's project to actually do that login conversation. Once we have identity, we get our list of games. That's going to load from our RPA service where we pass in, where we query it based on our games with our name. Then with that, we go out and we're going to play the game, and we return back the list of games and our score and whatever by using the game ID and the move. Let's go out and press F5 because I think we've got all the code done that we're going to do. So load it up. It's going to go out. It's going to pull up our game. And what we'll see is that it's going to go out, check to see if we're logged in or not. If we aren't logged in, then it'll give us the opportunity to. Since I've already logged in, it should have my game. Click on New Game. New Game is then going to go out and create a new instance of this. So I can click on the rock. It'll then go out, run the method to play the game. When it's done, it should give me back that list of games out here. And assuming that my database is set up correctly, then I would get that to play back. And let's do this. Go to main page XAML. Oh, I'm running this from here. So let's change this back to RPA on wp7.cloud.net. It's running the ORPA service. Go ahead and click on Run. And now it should actually work. So here's our games opening up. Should connect up, query, and return back our list of games. I create a new game. Should navigate out to this. Here's my rock. Here's my papers. Here's my scissors. There's scissors again. And if we go back out, navigate back, then I should get my list of games. There it is. Okay, another game. game 2, new game, paper. And the idea is that I can keep playing this and doing this game as many times as I want, and then I'll end up getting the data showing up inside of the data store. I can go back, I can navigate to previous games, see what the score was. I can go out and pull up the first game, second game, etc. And the idea is that now I've got working rock, paper, scissors playing on Windows Azure against the computer. And that is how we can go through and create an entire game scenario. Now, let's go back out and talk about what we did. So, our plan was to go out, and it was to create a couple of different things. One is to create the data service that is going to be hosted inside of Windows Azure. We're also going to add the Windows Azure Silverlight project. We added a SQL Azure data store to actually save the results, and then we expose that out using a no-data endpoint with a WCF data service, and then we consumed it inside of our Windows Phone application. Technologies we used was the Windows Azure Tools version 1.6. This slide's out of date. You can get those by going out to Microsoft.com/web and using the platform installer. It'll add all the tools that you need. We also use Access Control Services, and we use the acs.codeflex.com to pull that in. To get the SDK for working with Windows Phone, just go out to create.msdn.com. That'll add that as well. You can also get that from the platform installer. And then if you're interested in the OData pieces, I originally wrote this on the version Windows 7.0, the original Windows 7, and you needed to download some stuff from OData.codeflex. You do not anymore. But there's information on how the data services work from there as well. So now that we've got a working game, first thing people say is we want to change it. We want to add stuff, make things different. Some of the enhancements, future version things that I would do, I would probably say, okay, well, for our next version, I would want to be able to pick a bot. If a lot of people upload a bot, maybe have something besides just the random logic that they're playing against. I think it'd be kind of cool to have better animations and design, maybe enlist a designer to actually take the XAML that we created and then make it look really neat. Another thing is to add multiple identity providers for a given account, so that I'm Mike Benkovich and I might have a Google ID, I might have a Facebook, I might have a Yahoo. I want to tie those all into one account. How would I do that? That might be something to work on in the next version. Notification services allow us to update the application when someone wants to play a game. Maybe a new bot gets published. Management reports. Everyone always loves management reports. Some of the other things that you want to do is put this in the marketplace so you can monetize it using ad-driven revenue or something. But there's just a lot of other things you could do for this. Some of the other stuff you might want to have other clients. Key is where you can get more information. All of this stuff is available. The code that we wrote is available under the downloads page on benkotips.com/downloads. You can go out to that. It'll download that. I also have the slide deck for this. You can download from Live Meeting or shoot me an email. If you go out to benkotips.com, which is my homepage, you just go out to that. You can ask questions, send me an email. The way to get a hold of me is to go out to benkotips.com. Just a second here. And from benkotips.com, on the left-hand side of the page, there's a link. It says, need help, talk to Mike. If you go out and click on that link, it'll send an email to me, mike.benkovich@microsoft.com. So, are there any questions? Assuming no, I'm going to turn it back over to Brianna, to kind of take us back out.